Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel, Cat Sarah. First things first, please remember to click subscribe. So in this video, we'll be talking about traveling and your phone. This conversation is about how much your phone can help you in terms of traveling, whether you're traveling with a group or solo. Just basically when you're planning your own trip, these apps that I'm going to discuss are going to be very handy. Alright, so let's just get into it. Firstly, right, booking your accommodation. Okay, so the apps that you'll need are for traveling meaning from your home destination to your destination where you're traveling to, and then traveling around that place that you are at, as well as accommodation. You may need some sort of entertainment apps to know what's good and what's not. Yeah. So, firstly, accommodation. The best app or website that I'd suggest you have, this is more for prior to you going on your trip, right? So this is when you're planning your trip. I'd suggest you download booking.com. I'll tell you why. My favorite site is booking.com purely because you can go on the site, you put in your destination, you put in your dates, and then you can sort it based on recommended places, price for one person if you're traveling alone, because that'll give you, there's price for two people, price for one person. That'll help you if you're on your own, because we all know that traveling alone, well, if you didn't know, let me let you know. It can be very expensive traveling alone because you have no one to split bills with. You take an Uber, you have no one to share it with. Your hotel room, you have no one to split it with. So, booking.com. Search for filter sorted according to price for one if you're on your own. If you're not, then that's great. But it does ask you how many people you want. It's just the order in which you would like your options sorted. Another great thing they have is pay later. So there's options where you can pay at a later stage. I know when I went to the US, I paid for all of my accommodation when I was there checking in, whereas in South Africa, it seems, I'm from South Africa, so back home in South Africa, it seems like you have to pay or perhaps pay a deposit. So just read the fine print. But I found that some options are pay later. Another great thing is some of the hotels or hostels, you can get options where you basically okay, so the other thing is booking.com has the option to cancel later on some options. You need to just have a careful read through it. So basically this is an option where you can book accommodation. Let's say perhaps you're not sure of whether you'll get there, but you're seeing this great price. You can then book it, reserve it basically, and you'll have a due date by when you should cancel. If you don't cancel by then I think they'll pull the money when the time comes, right? But that gives you that option, that leeway to at least book your accommodation and then wait for a week or two or months even, depending on how early you give it. The notice can be like up to a day before. I don't know if it was because I was booking hostels at that point, where it allows you to cancel up to a day before. It can be like a month before, it can be a week before. So just have a look for that, but it's out there. Next app, traveling, planes. You can get Cheapflights, you can get Skyscanner. What I like about Skyscanner the most is that let's say you're flexible, right? First of all, you can set alerts. You can search for a flight if you're not ready to pay for it. Set it to let you know when the price changes, whether up or down, so that you know that, okay, now this is your cutoff, you want to pay. The other option is that you can also search for the cheapest flights from where you are to anywhere in the world. You just input the dates that you want to travel. Let's say you have some time off work or off school, you want to travel, you have your money, you don't know where to go, just put that in, and then it'll show you from in order of the cheapest, basically from wherever you are to somewhere else in the world. It'll show you an order of cheapest flights, right? Amazing. I love that. Another option is you know where you want to go, you don't know when, you just want to find out when's the cheapest time. Then you input where you are, where you want to go, don't specify your dates, and it'll give you the different days on which the flights are cheap, or like it'll give you the prices, so you'll see, oh okay, cool, it's cheaper in May, let me go then. There's also, you can also look, but there's an explore option where you just want to see where can I go, when can I go. You just feel like a holiday. You can then search for that. It has it in months, basically. For example, in April, where can I go, where is it good to go, then it can give you those options. So that's why I love Skyscanner. So that's, now you've got your flight booked, you've got your accommodation booked, you're good to go, right? Another thing I'd suggest is to get TripAdvisor. Either get the app or check everything on TripAdvisor. Your flight, your airline, your accommodation, check the comments, things to do. They have suggestions there as well, and people's comments. It's great. You can see people's photos, especially for accommodation, where the hotel or hostel or whatever you're staying at will have these beautiful edited pictures of their place, but then, you know, the customers, the people that are reviewing the place, will show you the real pictures, you know. So it's kind of good to hear from other people how the place is, the service, everything, food, whatever you want. TripAdvise that thing. Okay, so you need TripAdvisor. In terms of transport, this can be transport from your house to wherever you're going, to the airport, from the airport to your accommodation, to the activity you want to do. Get Rome to Rio. That app is amazing. It'll literally tell you that wherever you want to go is this much by bus, by flight, by car, by cab. You need to walk from whatever street to whatever street. It has the directions. I am telling you, Rome to Rio is probably my favorite app out of all of these apps. Trust me, you need to have that on your phone. It'll tell you anything. It also gives you, like, it compares it for you, kind of. Like, let's say, for example, I went from San Francisco to LA, right? Both in California. Rome to Rio let me know that, look, you could take the bus. It's going to take 7 hours. You could take the flight, which is going to be perhaps like an hour, but it's going to be this much. But you also need to think as well, with flights, it's not that that it says an hour, therefore I'll be there in an hour. No, you need to get to the airport, you need to check in, you need to wait after checking in, because you know, you need to, when you come off, you need to go wait for your bags. A flight, you need to consider all these facts, and then you look at the price, of course. So I ended up choosing the bus option because I was like, okay, 7 hours, I'll just do it at night. Well, that's what I did because I didn't want to waste a whole day. But, you know, at least I could see that, okay, it's going to be this much if I fly. If I use a bus, it's going to be this much. If I drive, like rent a car and then pay for petrol or gas, whatever you want to call it, it's great. Rome to Rio. All right, so now we've covered flights, accommodation, transportation wherever you are, activities, TripAdvisor. These, I would say, are the best things to have. And before you leave home, I mean, just check. Oh, you may need an app if your phone doesn't do this. My phone does it, but just check if your phone can do this or not. Then you'll need an app to translate time. I don't have a specific app for this, but this is an app you need to look out for. Think about it, because, for example, when you want to call home, you need to know, okay, now you're in a different continent, you need to know the time differences. So it at least has, wherever you are, if you're in New York versus Thailand, now you know, okay, I can't call my family now because it's like 3 a.m. So that'll just keep you in check with the rest of the world or wherever you need to know. But just if you're moving around, because you need to just update that, because I made the mistake of moving from one place to the other, and my clock, the time difference wasn't so bad. So for example, if it's day, it's still day at the other place, so the time didn't alert me. But I mean, I booked a Vegas show and I missed half of it because I was an hour behind. Yes. So just check that. I think those are the most essential apps. And just check wherever you're going, just check how accessible Wi-Fi is, because you'll need it for all these apps to use it. Get a map of wherever you are. These are just extra tips. Get the little things to do booklet at the airport when you land. These are just tips of what to do when you're traveling and you're not on a guided trip, basically. So yeah, I hope these help, and happy traveling. Another thing on transport, Uber. Get your Uber app, find out if there's an alternative for Uber in the country that you're going to, and get those apps. Those will help